What's up, guys and girls? It's Johnny with Six Pack Shortcuts. And today, instead of talking about, building muscle or how to make your muscles bigger or good workouts or whatever, anything that goes on outside your body, today we're going to switch it up a little bit and we're going to talk about what goes on inside your body. Because to be honest with you, in order for you to achieve what you want on the outside of your body, you also have to be concerned with what is going on inside your body. And specifically, I'm talking about hormones. So hormones control pretty much everything that's going on in your body, all of its processes. But the one hormone that we're specifically going to talk about today is called cortisol. And cortisol is known as the stress hormone. So first thing with hormones is that's one thing you can't necessarily do is control your hormones. Now, I say that lightly because yes, you can, but you can't just say, okay, wake up in the morning, well, I feel a little stressed. I want to reduce my cortisol level. So there we go, my cortisol level. No, so you can't do that. So now, but there are proper things that you can be doing, and I'll explain these later, to help regulate and reduce those hormone levels, whether it's cortisol or whether it's, your thyroid gland or whatever it may be. Regulating hormones and keeping them as constant as possible is what you want. It's when they're out of whack is when your body starts getting confused and starts storing fat and raising blood sugar levels. So that's the real goal in mind, is we want to keep these hormones constant. So back to cortisol, the hormone that we're going to talk about today. So what is cortisol? Again, it's called the stress hormone. And it's a hormone that is secreted whenever our body experiences time of stress, whether that may be work, whether that may be a relationship. Maybe it's you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe it's you can't sleep at all. There's a lot of factors in your everyday life which can contribute to the release of cortisol, the stress hormone. So what cortisol does when it's released is it actually raises your blood sugar, starts to store excess fat. And in this world, that's what we don't want, right? I mean, we want to burn fat, we want to build muscle, we don't want our blood sugar up. But it's doing that for a reason. It's doing that to prepare your body. It's a natural reaction to stress and times when your body's just freaking out. It's a natural reaction for your body to do that in order to prepare itself to either fight or flight. Like in times of, your body might go into starvation mode. Similar to that, your body's preparing you. It's storing insulin. It's raising its blood sugar to provide energy in case you need to fight or in case you need to run. Same thing with the fat. In case you go into a starvation mode, you're stressful, it's going to start to store fat. So that's all in all kind of what cortisol does. So now that I've explained what cortisol is, the stress hormone, what it does, let's talk about what causes it to be elevated or what causes your body to release cortisol. And I'm just going to give you a couple basics that you've probably all experienced. The first one is a poor diet. That's stress on the body. When you go, let's say you don't eat breakfast and then you go till 2 in the afternoon, then you eat a gigantic lunch and then you don't eat dinner. That's stressful on the body. Not having a consistent schedule or the proper nutrition available for your body places stress on the body. Your body's going to release cortisol. Second thing, lack of sleep. Pretty self-explanatory. When you don't give your body proper time to recover, rest, repair, rebuild, it's going to place an immense amount of stress on the body, and again, cortisol gets released. A third cause of the release of cortisol can be excessive working out or overworking or overuse. For example, let's say you're working 60 hours a week and then you're also working out 2 hours a day and you're not getting proper rest, you're not letting your body recover, more cortisol is going to get released. Your body doesn't have that adequate recovery time again. So those are 3 basic things that can cause elevated cortisol levels. So what's going to happen? Your body's going to start to store more fat. You're going to be tired. Your workouts are going to suck. So let's talk about now what you can do to combat that. First thing, easiest thing you do is get some good sleep. You're really just, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you go and do these badass workouts and you're working your tail off and you're eating proper nutrition. But then you're staying up till 2 in the morning playing video games, and then you have to wake up at 6 to get to class or whatever. So that's not giving your body the proper rest recovery time that it needs. So first thing you can do, get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Minimum is 6 hours. Me, myself, I operate pretty darn good on 6 hours. If I get 7, I feel amazing. So just try it if you haven't already. Second thing you can do is to stay hydrated. sounds silly, but it's the truth. Again, it's kind of ties into that rest and recovery, and also helping your muscles recover after and during immense workouts, and providing that hydration while you're working out so you can work out long enough as well and you don't dehydrate yourself. When you work out and your mouth is dry and you're dehydrating yourself, that's stress on the body. That's going to release more cortisol. The third thing you can do, and my favorite thing to recommend, is get on a diet. Not necessarily, you don't have to get on a diet per se, but just start eating healthy, making healthy decisions. Try and get on some sort of a good eating schedule where you're actually eating a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. You don't have to eat 6 meals a day and be super strict like some of us are. Some of us choose to be that way. But whatever you do, just give it a try, especially if you're coming from where you've never done anything. Like you might be that person who only eats one giant meal once a day when you're out with coworkers. Try mixing it up, and you can see that the stress is just greatly reduced on your body when you have a nice regimen to follow. So hopefully you learned a little bit today. We talked about hormones, we talked about cortisol, what causes the release of it, and what can combat that cortisol release. So hopefully you learned a little bit. Check us out at Six Pack Shortcuts for more workouts, nutrition, and general health and fitness information. I'm your boy Johnny. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.